What if losing your job was the best thing that ever happened to you? In 2021, I walked away from mine. No backup plan, no safety net, and I lost everything. But here's what I found on the other side. Job security was never actually real. It's golden handcuffs dressed up as safety. And the whole time, the thing that was actually keeping me stuck wasn't my income, it was my identity. I'll show you exactly how I rewired my beliefs about my job and a paycheck that were wrecking my identity and what I'm building now so I never need a job to survive again. So let me take you back to 2021 for a second. I chose my personal freedom over security when I refused the injection that we were being forced to take at the time. Because of that, I lost my job. Just like that. No warning shot, no severance package. Paycheck was immediately gone. And even though I had an emergency savings, that leap of faith didn't feel like freedom at first. It felt like free fall. But by the end of this video, you'll see how walking away from my job actually turned into the best thing that's ever happened to me, and how you can start making the shift from false security to true freedom, whether your job disappears tomorrow or not. If this resonates with you and where you're at, please like and subscribe below. Let's get into it. So the first thing I realized that really changed everything for me is that freedom beats false security. Your joy and satisfaction in life is directly tied to your ability to choose what you do with your time, not your money, your time. And time is the one resource you can never get back. You can always make more money. You can never make more time. And when I had a secure job, so to speak, I had 40 to 60 hours a week stolen from me every single week, gone. And in exchange, I was handed a paycheck, which sounds like a fair trade until you realize what actually happened. I was trading my most finite resource for something infinite. Money can be printed, earned, multiplied, replaced. You can never get your time back. A salary is what they give you to forget about your dreams. I wasn't free. At the end of the day, I was like a well-paid prisoner. And here's the scary part. I didn't realize until I was on the other side. The whole time I was cashing that paycheck, I thought I was secure. I thought I had it figured out. It wasn't until that paycheck disappeared that I realized I was never actually free in the first place. The job didn't give me security. It gave me the illusion of it. I was addicted to a paycheck. And if you don't have the right mindset about money, losing that regular paycheck creates something that genuinely feels like withdrawal, anxiety, panic, doubt. I felt all of it. And it's because most of us were never taught what money is actually for. We all think that money's job is to pay the bills and maybe save, survive the next paycheck, pay the bills, save the best you can, repeat. But money's real purpose is to multiply itself. It's a tool for creating more of itself through investing in assets, proper leverage, ownership. The second I rewired that belief, everything else downstream started to change. But even once I understood that, I was still thinking way too small, because a job doesn't just take your time, it takes your identity. I thought way too small of myself and what I was capable of. And the truth is that it wasn't actually my fault. See, we were taught to think small, play it safe, just get a good job. Any kind of risk and possibly getting the wrong answer in school crushed any kind of ability to step outside the box and truly live up to our potential. Think about school for a second. From the time we were kids, we're taught that getting the wrong answer is bad, risk is bad, standing out is bad. Just color inside the lines, follow the process, don't ask too many questions. That system wasn't built to help you find your potential. It was built to prepare you to be a reliable employee, compliant and predictable. So of course, most of us grow up thinking, well, get a good, secure job, that's the finish line. We were never shown another option. And when you spend 10, 15, 20 years inside a job, you stop seeing yourself as a person with unlimited potential. You start seeing yourself as your role. Program manager, electrician, data analyst, whatever title or role you have becomes the ceiling on how you see yourself. This affected my identity, and I thought way too small of myself and what I was actually capable of. It wasn't until I lost my job that I got forced into something I never would have chosen on my own, a complete reset. See, now I had the time to do an actual audit of my life. Where was I at? What did I actually want, not what I was told to want? What would the dream life for my family actually look like? The amazing part is that once my job was gone, my brain opened up in a way it never had before. Suddenly I could see the vision, the assets, the opportunities, the cash flow that could replace that income from a job, because I wasn't spending 50 hours a week with my head down building someone else's dream. Losing that job didn't just cost me security, it actually gave me back my vision and my identity. Once my brain opened up like that, I found the real skills that actually started moving the needle for me financially, so I could start acquiring assets instead of just paying the bills and surviving. If any of this is hitting home for you right now, check out the link below to my Millennial Money Freedom training. It's a free condensed portion of my actual coaching program that helps you obtain your first cash flowing asset in less than 12 months and start to build a portfolio that will create a life you'll never want to retire from. So the third realization I had after losing my job was, look, I have a business degree. I want you to know that because I paid money for it and it took 4 years of my time. I want to tell you honestly what it did for me compared to what actually built my wealth. My ability to solve problems and course correct quickly has made me more money than that degree ever did. Not even close. Here's the truth nobody tells you in school. If you can solve someone's problem, you will always be able to earn money. Always. That skill doesn't require a diploma, and it doesn't require even being anyone's employee. See, credentials are proof that you followed a process. Creativity is proof that you can create value out of nothing. And value is the only thing that anyone has actually paid money for. Once I understood that I was my biggest asset, my ability to think, adapt, and problem solve, I stopped waiting for permission from a job to prove I was capable. That shift alone changed the trajectory of everything I built next. But even with that mindset working for me, I was still capping myself in one major way. And you see, like I said before, a salary is what they give you to make you forget about your dreams. Sit with that for a second. It didn't matter what role I had, supervisor, program manager, electrician. No matter how good I was at that job, my earning potential was always determined by someone else. Someone else set the salary band. Someone else decided what my time was worth. That's the trap of employment. It's not that jobs are necessarily evil or even have one makes you a bad person. It's that the entire structure is designed with a ceiling built into the foundation. You are always by design trading unlimited effort for a limited pre-negotiated return. So what actually breaks that ceiling? For me, it was really two skill sets. One was sales, second was leadership. So sales is the ultimate bet on yourself. The better you get, the more you make. And sales is really a competitive sport. Once I became a top national level sales producer in my final role as an employee, it made me realize that I had the ability to earn an uncapped income and could impact way more people by truly solving their problems instead of just being capped at a standard commission rate with my employer. I could put those skills to use for myself and my family. The second skill set was leadership, was because it allows you to multiply your time by working through people instead of just working harder yourself and putting in more effort. Those two skills are now helping me create a movement for those who may be crushing it in their career, but know they're made for more and are missing out on their own lives trading time for money. Now, as an entrepreneur and a coach, I teach working professionals how to own their first cash flowing asset in less than 12 months and start building a portfolio of assets that will create the life that you never want to retire from. So let's go back to what I told you at the beginning of this video, that losing my job in 2021 actually turned out the best thing that ever happened to me. Now you know why. It wasn't the job loss itself, obviously. It was everything the job loss forced me to see. That was trading my most finite resource for a paycheck. That I let a role define my identity instead of the other way around. That creativity, not credentials, was always the real asset. And that the ceiling I thought was permanent was never actually real. Here's what I'm building now: a life powered by assets, not a paycheck. Income that isn't capped by someone else's approval. And ultimately, I have greater satisfaction and joy in fulfilling what God designed for me to do. It just didn't fit in the corporate box. And that's what this comes down to. It's not about your resume, your title, or your degree. It's about your identity, the way you see yourself, and the way your relationship is with money, time, and what you're capable of building. Fix that, and the strategy takes care of itself. So if you're sitting there right now feeling the same ceiling I felt, no matter how hard you work, someone is always above you, capping what you're allowed to have and do. I want you to comment below and tell me what you think is actually capping you right now. And if this video hit home for you, please subscribe, because this channel is built for exactly one thing: helping people like you tear down that false ceiling and build a life you never want to retire from. I'll see you in the next one.